Title 42 remains in place. Still thousands of people streaming across the southern border illegally. Fox News obtained the latest numbers showing border agents encountering about 6,800 people a day, a record high number of crossings since October 1st. So let's bring in Florida Congresswoman Cammack, who has a little bit to say about the situation. What do you think?
Well, you know, this might go down as one of the greatest cell phones in history, certainly of the Biden administration, while they are simultaneously trying to remove Title 42, the public health directive at the border that we are able to expel people back to their home country under. The Biden administration is also now saying that Chinese nationals must be tested for COVID because there is still an ongoing public health emergency. So I think they must have missed the memo where 151 different nationals are coming across the border, including Chinese nationals. It just never ends. We have a public health crisis, a humanitarian crisis, and certainly a national security crisis playing out on our southwest border. It's killing 300 people here in the United States a day.
Right. So, Congresswoman, then why do you feel like President Biden doesn't feel any pressure to change the situation because of the crisis?
You know, I think he does feel pressure, even from people within his own party. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the House floor when Democrats have approached me and said, you know, listen, I agree with you. I know that there's an issue at the border. I know there's a crisis at the border. We're feeling it in my district. And these are people representing districts all over the United States. They're saying the fentanyl crisis is really hurting our communities. We've got people here that just don't know what to do. We don't have enough resources. But if they speak out, there will be political retribution for them. So I think behind closed doors, there's incredible pressure. Even Obama's DHS secretary said that 2,000 a day was a crisis. Now we're on average 6,000 to 8,000 a day. And with Title 42 going away, that could go up to 18,000 a day.
But if he's feeling pressure, then why isn't he acting?
Well, because I think that he has to, at one point or another, acknowledge that this 100% is on the Biden administration. It is dereliction of duty. It is negligence. But above all, it's unacceptable. And so if they were to take action and actually call it what it is, a crisis, and then continue the full force multiplier that we know is the technology and the wall, the physical structure, or to actually uphold the Trump policies of NPP, the Remain in Mexico program, that means that he would acknowledge that he had stripped away the policies that were working to secure our southwest border. The data does not lie, and he can be a data denier as long as he wants, but eventually it's going to catch up with him, and he's going to have to answer for that come 24 when Americans realize how big of a national security threat actually has been with this open border policy that they have.
So I want to change topics here now that I have you. The president signed a $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill yesterday. It had some $60 million to hire border agents and $800 million for expenses to shelter people illegally that are crossing the border. The priorities just mixed up here?
Well, and let us not forget that Biden signed this bill from the tropics, the U.S. Virgin Islands, to be exact, where that bill, all 4,000 plus pages, had to be flown to the island where he was staying at taxpayer expense. So I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that that's where he did, in fact, sign this $1.7 trillion. But you talk about the additional funding in here. He's kind of saying the quiet part out loud that, yes, we actually do need more agents. We need force multipliers. We need resources. But you have to ask yourself, at what point are you going to give a policy to our agents that they can actually uphold? Because that's the number one thing I hear from agents is they need a policy. And the second thing is what message are you sending to the cartels, the people that are actually trafficking these individuals across the border? If you continue to build soft-sided facilities and expand the footprint along the southwest border, you're saying to the cartels, keep sending people over and we'll keep housing them. It's the wrong message to send. And quite frankly, that's why I've called Biden the trafficker-in-chief instead of the commander-in-chief. He is completing the trafficking cycle on behalf of the cartels. And that is what is so wrong.
Yeah, one more point on this. So both parties approved that massive spending packages, and many of them, actually. The federal debt is at an unsustainable path. So how do you get fiscal responsibility when it seems that Republicans and Democrats are voting for some of these spending bills?
I can tell you, as a first-term member of Congress, it is probably the most frustrating thing that I've ever done in my life. And at one point in time, I was homeless. So if that's any indicator, it's very, very frustrating. But what we have to do is get government out of the way. That is really at the root of it. The Democrats want a dependency and control agenda, which seeks to expand the size and scope of government that make people dependent on its programs. Republicans, our goal is to reduce this footprint of the federal government. People have the capability and the responsibility to make these decisions for themselves, not some bureaucrat in a basement somewhere in Washington. Right. So we have to get the spending under control by just stopping the spending, cut some of these programs, reduce this footprint. If we continue to grow, about $60 trillion is when we become insolvent. And that is going to be a very, very troublesome day in our republic. We've got to be serious about cutting the spending and recognize that the government is not the answer to every problem that we have.
Yeah, Kat Cammack, thank you from Florida, representative from Florida. Appreciate you for being here, and have a great